Hello, and welcome to today's webinar on optimizing recruitment on the Salesforce using SocialHire. Today's agenda is going to be introductions, talking about the challenging labor market that we're currently in, the importance of the applicant experience, background and benefits of the SocialHire system, a demo, and then time for Q&A at the end. So my name is Jessica Frodano. I'm an HR professional. I've got over 20 years of experience with companies like W Hotels, where I led HR operations, including recruitment and retention and all of the functions of the HR department, and Coca-Cola, where I served as an HR business partner for several years. I've led through many recruitment innovations and helped leaders to increase their process efficiency in hiring, onboarding, and retention. And my partner here on the call today is Girish. Girish, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, thanks, Jessica. So my name is Girish. I am the solution architect and founder at SocialHire. I am one of the first 500 Salesforce certified professionals and has been working in the Salesforce ecosystem since 2005, has worked on over 300 plus projects. The big ones include Cisco, Intel, VMware, HHS, National Institute of Health, and multiple healthcare institutions, as well as nonprofits. That is a quick background on myself, especially around the Salesforce ecosystem.
All right, thanks, Girish. So today I want to talk a little bit about our challenging labor market that we're currently facing. Unemployment rates are dropping across the world, and especially in the EU, US, and UK. We are looking at a 3.3% unemployment rate expected for 2019 in the US, and we have not seen a rate this low since 1952, so it's a really big issue right now. Just some other little things that are happening is the gig economy is really a competition for every industry. A lot of people hear the gig economy and think it doesn't apply to them, but it does. There's a lot of people are being lured away from traditional 9-to-5 jobs to have more remote positions or gig type roles to supplement their income or to make up as it would be their old full-time jobs. And HR has a lot of issues pulling them away from recruitment in the current environment. Especially in the US with the Me Too movement, gender equality and equal pay issues, expected changes to the Obamacare or Affordable Health Care Act, minimum wage increases, joint employment and overtime exemption, especially due to the gig economy, just to name a few. There's a lot more, but we won't get into those today. There's a table here that you can see where the unemployment rate just is dropping drastically. It's, in 2010 it was in the 10% range, and now we're looking at a 3% range, and it's not expected to go back up anytime soon. So what that means is, so it's an employee market for us right now, meaning we've shifted away from being an employer market where we have tons and tons of applicants and we can take our pick. So now there's fierce competition with the unemployment rates dropping, and some of the jobs that are in the biggest demand are in the healthcare and tech industry. 11 out of the 15 jobs that are in the most demand over the next 5 years come from both the healthcare and tech industries. So that's going to make the competition even more fierce. So fewer applicants plus fierce competition make it an employee market. And on the next slide, we'll talk about why we care so much about it being an employee market. So the applicant experience really matters a lot more when we're in a market like that, because like I said already, we have fewer applicants to choose from. And so we really have to focus on making their experience a positive one. So we're digital, we live in a digital world, and we want to apply from our mobile phones. There's a lot of systems out there that you can't do that, and people will drop off for that reason, so you can lose an applicant. Indeed research shows that applications with 20 screener questions lose 40% of the candidates, and the abandonment rate just keeps going up from there. So you have to make that screener, the screener initial input screen very short to keep their attention. If an applicant applies and never hears back, it's a really bad thing for a company. They're not likely to ever be a customer, a donor, or an evangelist for your brand. As a matter of fact, for reputation management's sake, you can expect that they're going to probably say negative things about you, not only to your their friends and family, but also we have now social media and websites like Glassdoor and just ways for people to spread those messages rather quickly and to much larger audiences than they used to be able to years ago. So on that note, when we're working on a positive candidate experience, collaboration with hiring managers is really key for increased efficiency. There's a lot of duplication of processes and efforts if we don't have the hiring managers having collaboration on the process, being able to input their information on the initial requisition that goes into the system for their special needs for their department and their teams, and then also helping to move the process along faster by being part of scheduling the interviews, being part of making the offers with whatever parameters that the company that uses the systems wants to set up for them. And then also, if the candidate has a positive experience through the application process, you're starting to create a sense of belonging and culture that starts off on the right foot during the hiring process. And then that helps at the end with talent retention, because a lot of talent retention, negative talent retention, has to do with their first week on the job. So starting that off with things moving along and them hearing back in an effective and quick fashion makes things a lot better in the beginning. So it's critical for all these reasons that you have an effective recruitment process in place to address the challenges that we are seeing in today's market. Girish, do you want to talk about how the system helps with that?
So I'm going to start out by giving you a quick background of SocialHire. So along the lines of the challenges that Jessica had mentioned, when we started building out, we wanted to make sure SocialHire is built to address these key challenges in today's employment market. So SocialHire has been active in the Salesforce ecosystem since 2007. Another thing is we have customers in healthcare, and then we have a corporate as well as agency customers, and we do have different versions of the software, one targeted just towards healthcare, one targeted at corporate, and another one very much for recruitment agencies. We have over 200 plus installs, mostly are with hospitals, nonprofits, corporate institutions, especially mid-market companies, as well as recruitment agencies. So next, I'm going to talk about, what are the key benefits of SocialHire, tying it back to the challenges that Jessica had mentioned. So we have candidate engagement built as a key theme from the ground up, right? So across the application, we have different features that address this actually. So we will help with improving retention and finding candidates with better cultural fit for you. And then in a competitive market, we also have features built to engage passive candidates, right, from competition or ideal target companies, like for example, using social media campaigns on Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. Right, so this is very critical for recruitment of nurses or key personnel like senior engineers. Then another thing is collaboration between the teams. Right, so this is very critical. We want to make sure there is significant collaboration, and that is built in within the application. So we do have features like interview feedback automation, whereby the recruiter as well as the hiring manager can collaborate on the interview feedback. Then we also have candidate onboarding workflows. Tying it back to things that Jessica mentioned, it's very important to have a great experience for the candidate when they get onboarded. Then we also help you monitor the hiring process so that we keep the candidate experience in key, as well as make sure they have a positive experience. So you don't get bad reviews in Glassdoor and have trouble recruiting in the future. So other things that I want to mention here is we also have like out of the box integrations with Indeed, which captures about 80% of the website job recruitment or job posting traffic. And then we also have integrations with Practice Link, which is a healthcare recruitment site. They specialize in recruiting nurses as well as physicians. And SocialHire also has integrations with other thousands of sites like monster.com, Dice, Possible. Like another key benefit is if you're already a Salesforce customer, already is looking at Salesforce, right? So we do have integrated reporting within Salesforce. Like in my days as a data warehouse architect and optimizing systems, it was a big challenge because the data resided in multiple systems, and then you had to put in a data warehouse or things along those lines. Since everything is built within Salesforce, the executives can see the reports and how their recruitment strategy is working out right from one system. Another key benefit is we do provide great support after implementation. Then we also have built-in AI from the ground up to provide candidate recommendations. For example, we recommend what candidates are the best fit for you based on the requirements that you have, and along the lines of being digital and mobile ready. The application is built ground up to be mobile ready. All our external facing sites are mobile ready. You can apply on a mobile phone, and we also use the latest Lightning technology, but we do work on classic version of Salesforce as well. Having said that, next I'm going to jump into a demo of Salesforce. So when you log into SocialHire, which is built on top of Salesforce, so like it's as if you're logging into Salesforce, you would use the same login credentials. Once you log in, you will get the SocialHire screen. And once you log in, first you get a overview of how your recruitment pipeline is looking. So this here I am looking at as a recruiter. Right here, I can see these are the positions I'm working on, like how many new candidates for each positions, different stages they are in. And then I can also see the new applicants that has come in through. So here it is an LPN, which is a nurse, that position that I have opened for, and the resumes that has come in for that. Then I can also see the items that I need to approve. So we do manage the approval process within the system. So here you can look at, I have an offer letter that I do need to approve for. And then I do have my day-to-day task. Here I can see I have a phone screen with Jerry Huang coming up. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through like what is a rec creation process, or how positions or requisitions are managed within SocialHire. So here I'm going to take a look at a sales representative requisition. So as you can see, we start the process in a draft mode, and we guide you through the requisition creation process. You start in the draft mode. Then you enter the different hiring manager info, if it is going to be a full-time or a part-time or an internship or a contractor role, and then you enter all the job responsibilities. So it is very easy to use. If you have your job recs within a Word document, you can copy and paste it into the rich text field that is here. And like once the basic requirements are completed, then you move it into a review stage, and the application can be customized based on your hiring process needs actually. So the review stage, you work with the hiring manager to review and to want and put in the key search targeting skills. What is the culture of the team, right? You want to capture all that info so that you are recruiting for the right talent. If it is a startup-like environment within your team, you want to capture that, making sure like you talk to the hiring manager and you you make sure you find candidates that match that criteria. We do have fields to capture the cultural fit, and here you can see different fields that are there. And like for search targeting, for example, like if the hiring manager's name, are they willing to do visa sponsorship, like which is a key topic, especially in the tech industry, and the keywords that they want to look for. And once you go through that process of identifying the cultural fit, and what the hiring manager is looking for, then you go ahead and make the position active. And here, we guide you through entering, like, you want to enter a target close date, and then you might want to search your existing resume database to find, like candidates that might be a good fit, and then you can make the position active. So as soon as you make the position active, what happens is it is available externally. So it will be like available on the website, and you can also, as soon as the position goes like live, right, here is the job description, like it just becomes live, and then it will become available also on sites like Indeed. You don't really have to do anything to make that happen. Our integration, out of the box integrations, take care of this. And as a candidate coming in, they can come in and search on Indeed, and they would find your job posting, and then that will take them directly to the corporate website, and where they can apply and fill out all the information. Here, as I have limited the number of fields that are there, right, so that you get maximum traction with the candidates and not drop off, right? So you can put in all the info and attach a resume and then just apply. Like if I return to all jobs, it will list all the positions, and we brand this external page according to your branding strategy, and out of the box it is mobile ready, and they can pull the site up in their mobile phone. So now that the position has gone live, right, so you will start getting applications. Like any applications that come in, you will get to see it like on the applications right here. That is one way, like you get a list of applications, and you can also process the applications from our Kanban view. So here I am showing you like how my pipeline looks like, right? So for example, like I have 60 things that are the new status that I still need to work through, right? That's quite a bit. And then there's few in the phone screen that I need to get back, and few that I'm working through the interview stage, right? So what, for example, happens here is, let's take this candidate. Let us say I reviewed the application, and I don't like the candidate by looking at the resume. Like I don't think it is a good fit. What can happen, like you can click and view the resume here. What I can do is I can just drag and drop the candidate into the rejected status, and the candidate just gets, the status is automatically updated. The candidate will receive a notification indicating this is the update, right? So again, going back to the theme of you want to keep the candidates engaged, and you do want to let them know what is happening, right? So here I'm saying thank you for applying. It doesn't meet the current requirements, but would love to keep your profile and be in touch as new positions become available. And and this text is also customizable according to your needs, and then if you want to gather some feedback about your process, you can do that as well. The next thing I'm going to show you is how you would want to search your existing resume pool, as well as use the AI engine that SocialHire provides. So when you look at this position, we do provide candidate recommendations based on an algorithm that matches the key skills that you're looking for, as well as the location that you're based in, right? So here you can see the key candidates that we are matching up. Our AI engine is matching up, and it is looking at all the applicants, and then you can work that particular pool. Then you also get a chart under the application or the position itself that shows what is the current applicant pool for that particular position looking like. So next, let us take a look at how we move a particular applicant through uh, uh, the recruitment process. So here I'm showing you, like the applicant will start in a new status, then they can go into phone screen. And if they go into phone screen, conduct the phone screen, determine cultural fit and interest level, enter the interview notes, then you can present it to the manager, right? So once you present it to the manager, submit the candidate for manager review. So, like it can go via email to the manager, or the manager can log into SocialHire and access the candidate. So once the candidate is the manager for review, what happens in many cases is, especially in the tech industry as well as healthcare industry, you have trouble getting feedback from the manager because they are so busy. So, but it ends up being a problem because the candidates will want to hear on a timely manner, right? So one thing that we have built within the system is, as soon as you get the candidate in front of the manager, you can request for feedback to the manager. And here I am saying, as a recruiter, I'm asking for feedback from the manager, and you can send that email immediately, or you can edit the email before it goes out. Here I'm just going to send the email out immediately, and as soon as I do that, what happens is a feedback is initiated. So the hiring manager will get an email asking for them to fill out feedback, right? So they want to, you want to hear the feedback, and the hiring manager can fill out the feedback form here and say oh, looks good. Bring on site as soon as possible. Make sure reload is okay. So he can enter his notes and save the feedback. And what happens is this feedback gets saved into the system. So if I go look at that particular application for the candidate, pulling up the wrong candidate, but here is the right candidate. So if I bring that particular candidate up, so I will have the feedback logged in within the system. So here I can see the feedback, the interviewer is this, and then what the feedback is, and bring on site as soon as possible. So everything is within the system, so you guys can audit the interview logs. If you guys have a committee deciding whether to make an offer, that feedback can also be automated within the system. So this enables collaboration between hiring managers and recruiters, and to provide immediate feedback and move the candidate through the app to the hiring process in a very streamlined manner. And the other thing I wanted to mention here is we do have offers within the system, so you can also extend an offer to the candidate, and then that offer process can be managed within the system itself. And next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the SocialHire reporting and dashboarding capabilities. Yeah, SocialHire has significant reporting and dashboarding capabilities. So here is a dashboard that I have created, and this comes out of the box, and you can add new charts onto this dashboard. Here I'm looking at what is my applicant pipeline, how old my recs has been. This is a rec aging report, where my applications are coming in from, which is the application source reports. As you can see, most of it is coming from Indeed. And there's some missing data. I wanted to indicate that it's because it's kind of a problem when you get missing data, but we do enable you to make the fields that somebody fills in required. So that is out of the box, and you can change that after implementation also with these. Then I am also showing you how long each application has been in a particular stage. So for example, in the hiring manager queue, how long has it been in the review. So that it is very critical to analyze these data to optimize your hiring process. If the hiring manager is not responding, or is taking 20 days to respond, it is an issue in a competitive market, right? So then you can also analyze recruiter load, etc. And these reports and charts can be scheduled to be delivered to your system, like on a weekly or on a daily or on a quarterly basis. We have customers that automate their quarterly reporting needs using these tools. Then another thing that I want to mention here is if you're an agency model, you could also see how you're working with the agencies just by a click of a button. So that is another feature that we do have. And the other things I want to mention is we do integrate with Calendar as well as Gmail and Outlook, right? So that integration is also available. So and also we do have integrations with DocuSign, EchoSign, and then we can also integrate with SMS, like texting systems, right? So let us take a quick look at like one of like how let us say like you receive an application from a candidate, right? So you would get a screen on the left hand side that indicates, like what positions they have applied for. You can create an application just from Gmail itself or from Outlook also. You can create an application, or you can just even forward a resume that you just received into SocialHire, and it will suck in the resume and create appropriate fields and data as needed. And that is basically a quick overview of SocialHire. And at this point, I'm going to turn it back to Jessica, and we can address any Q&A that we would have.
Thanks, Girish. I thank you all for joining the call today, and I just wanted to open it up to see if there were any questions that we could answer now, or you're welcome to also email us at jessica@socialhire.io, and please go ahead and let us know if you have any questions by typing in the question bar or speaking.
Another thing I wanted to mention is also we do offer a risk-free trial for SocialHire if anybody is interested, so we can offer that as well.
Okay, I don't think we have any questions coming through.
All right.
So I'll just close out by thanking everyone for joining us on the call today, and we hope to be in touch with you soon. And Girish, did you have any closing comments?
No, I think we are good. And thanks for everybody for joining. Thank you.
All right, thanks.